Today is October the 14th, 2025, which means tomorrow is October 15th, which, if you are military, mainly military, but I believe some other federal jobs and positions, we should be getting paid, okay? You see where I'm going with this? So, yeah, maybe I'll get paid tomorrow, maybe I won't, but hey, it is what it is. I'm here living at my mom's crib, rent free, I'm chilling, okay? But also, guys, so not only is today the day before we should hopefully, not just myself, but we, meaning military members, get paid. We already know, the federal government shutdown is, going crazy. Everybody is like on their last pack of ramen noodles. But today is October 14th, and the reason why that's such a special date for me is because I have one more month, guys. Yes, one more month before my DOS, or my date of separation. I will get out of the military officially, out of the United States Air Force, next month, November 14th. I have just one more month left of active duty service, even though I'm back home in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio. Shout out to the Buckeye State. I'm currently back home in Ohio because my commander of my old squadron back at Cannon Air Force Base, New Mexico, he actually gave me permissive TDY, okay? Meaning they allowed me, my entire unit and squadron allowed me to come back home for my last 6 months of active duty military service to do skill bridge, okay? That's what I've been doing. I've been doing a Salesforce program here at home, 100% completely remote from my computer. I've been learning a lot. I've been, networking, meeting new people. Earlier today, I had a work conference, a Zoom career expo, if you will, for my Purdue University Global Military transitioning students. And, I had met up with this lady. I'm not going to say her name or the company, but I had emailed her. She told me to email her the positions that I wanted. I applied to 2 jobs from the company in, various areas. And I emailed her, what the positions I applied for. So hopefully she said that she'll have somebody get back to me by the end of this week. So again, it's a lot going on. Okay, I just graduated college, my bachelor's in finance, just this past Saturday, October 11th. And again, today's October 14th. So I have one more month of military duty, guys. And I hear this question all the time, and I ain't gonna lie. We already know, like, the economy is cooked, okay? I always joke that, me personally, it's like I entered the military at the worst time, i.e., COVID, okay? And now it's like I'm getting out of the military at the worst time. It's like, what kind of luck do I have? So many people talk about how cooked the job market is, right? And I can see that, okay? I've been applying for jobs for months now, okay? Sometimes I apply to like 7 jobs per day between Indeed.com, LinkedIn. I'll go to the company's website, their official website, and hit apply for jobs that I'm overqualified for. I'm kind of qualified for. I might be, underqualified for. I just be applying to any jobs at this point. I don't care. At this point, it's like a video game for me, right? And of course, I have people in my ear, and again, they mean well. I understand, but they're like, the civilian world ain't what it's cracked up to be. And at least with the military, you got security, you got healthcare benefits, you got your whole healthcare paid for. And, you got that stability. That I'm used to the past almost 7 years, guys, getting paid every 1st and 15th. That's why tomorrow morning I'm gonna be like, where is that? Okay, every 1st and 15th. Okay, no matter what's going on. Usually, even when we had like government shutdowns previously throughout my military service, I don't remember us like not getting paid. Not that I can remember. I remember I always got paid on the 1st and 15th. But even though the civilian world is scary, it's hectic, it doesn't have the discipline and structure that I need to thrive in, I still haven't decided to be a one and done military contractor and just be done with the United States Air Force, okay? I love the opportunities it has given me. I enjoyed the people for the most part. I enjoyed all the training, the service, them, paying for my bachelor's degree, me being allowed to travel the world. I went to Florida, New Mexico, Kuwait, that 9-month deployment, met some of the greatest people that I'm still cool with to this day, some of them. And it's like, you know what? After all it was said and done, I still have decided to leave the United States military. But why? First and foremost, okay, I'm gonna just tell you straight up and down. The reason why I'm leaving, one of the main reasons why I'm leaving the military, is because I'm tired of the lifestyle, guys. I don't like not being in control of my life. Okay, I am an adult. Okay, I just turned 30 years old. Okay, I'm very grown, and it's like when you're active duty military, the military tells you where to live. The military tells you where to go, when to be there, what to wear when you get there, what to say, things of this nature. Mainly for me, myself, and I don't like how they get to dictate where I want to live. Guys, listen to me. I did a whole video on this previously, like 2 months ago. Again, I was only at 2 duty stations. My first one was Eglin Air Force Base in Florida. Okay, Northwest Florida. I was there for 5 years. My latest base after I came back from my deployment in Kuwait, I was stationed at Cannon Air Force Base in Clovis, New Mexico. That's literally the worst Air Force base in many people's opinions. People, it's either between Minot Air Force Base in North Dakota, where it's freezing. It's freezing right now, or Cannon Air Force Base. Again, I was only at Cannon for a year and a half, New Mexico. I'm gonna just kick it to you straight up like this. I see why the self deletion rate is so high. I was miserable there, okay, but I had a better leadership. And that leads me to my other reasonings, right? When I was in Florida, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of drama, okay? But my leadership was terrible there. And like the workload was so stressful. I was a chef, okay? I might be thinking like, oh, Geneva, all you have to do is cook. No, listen to me. if you stationed at Eglin Air Force Base and the DFAC, the Reese dining facility, our leadership was crazy. People fighting, rumors getting spread, violence acts. It was a lot going on in Florida. It's Florida. It's literally the state, Florida has that chaotic, crazy, stereotype for a reason, okay? When I was stationed at Eglin Air Force Base, I was suffering, okay? Suffering from drama, being overworked, stressed out, health issues, etc., etc. Now, when I went to Cannon, I was very bored out of my mind. And then I had the genius idea to do 6-month security forces augmentee duty because I wanted to get my stats up. My leadership had approached me like, hey, we understand that you're in school. We love that for you, but it's like we need you to volunteer. And like I had talked to one of my sergeants, and they was like, well, do you want to do security forces augmentee? It's a good bullet. So I decided to do it, and I ain't gonna lie, it was miserable. I ain't gonna lie, for the majority of the time, when you're not outside scanning IDs out in the cold all day, because again, I did it during the winter. Last October through this current April. Okay, I did it for 6 months. And when you outside in the freezing cold and people are asking you dumb questions, how do you get to the DFAC? How do you get to, oh, I didn't know that this was a military base. I was trying to go to Starbucks. Like, it gets tired. It gets old, okay? It gets old, it gets cold. So that was not a good idea. But yeah, that just goes back to my point. One of the reasons why I'm leaving the military is because, again, the lack of control. I did not want to live in New Mexico. Florida was all right, but again, when they sent me to New Mexico, to Cannon Air Force Base, the worst freaking base, knowing I wanted Creech or Nellis in Las Vegas, they had me messed up. Another reason why I'm deciding to leave the military is because of the people. Now, yes, don't get me wrong, guys. You're going to meet a lot of great people. You're going to meet amazing people, funny people, talented people, strong people, just incredibly intelligent, funny people in the military, right? Because it's such a melting pot. Speaking of melting pot, that's the thing. The military is like one big giant high school. No matter the age or the rank of the individual or individuals in question, all the rumors, the gossip, the cheating, the backstabbing, the power plays, the mind games, the trying to, get to the next level, trying to reach the next rank, it gets old and tired and it just gets old and tired. Again, for me, it's just played out. Now, speaking of being in a melting pot, you're going to be around people who you just did not, perhaps maybe you did not, grow up around like in your day-to-day life as a child, an adolescent, etc., etc. Now, like for me, for an example, I have met so many Filipino people from the Philippines, people from Guam, from all types of Asian countries, African countries, and I got to learn a lot about those people, their cultures and traditions. Now, this is the problem, okay, with this. As you can see, I am black. I have come across, now, of course, there's racism and sexism in the military as it is everywhere else, but the type of situations, I'll call it racial insensitivities or maybe even racism, that I encountered that was so annoying is I would encounter people who did not grow up around black people and they would just ask me stupid questions. Like just flat out dumb questions. Like it was this one white guy when I was at Cannon. He was from Wyoming, tiny town. Like he said like his town has like less than like 2,000 people. Like the questions he would ask me, I'm just like, are you freaking serious? Again, when you're in the military, you are forced to work around all sorts of, people from all sorts of places all around this world, which is a good thing, right? It can be a good thing, but it also can be a bad thing when it comes to people's ignorance and people's self-perceived notions of how a black person should act, a white person should act, an Asian person, a Hispanic person should act, you know what I'm saying, etc., etc. Also, another reason why I'm leaving, I'm tired of PT, okay? I just left the gym, literally, guys. I just left the gym. Today was my upper body strength, okay? My muscles is getting big. But the fact that the Air Force just implemented this new PT physical training standards, I'm off it, okay? That 1.5 mile run, I ain't gonna lie, I run twice per week, but I don't like to run. The fact that they moved it from 1.5 miles to 2 miles to run now, like we the Army, is atrocious. Again, no, absolutely not. Count me out. Also, another reason why I'm leaving, I'm tired of leading, okay? The military has this obsession with trying to force people to be leaders. They want to force you to lead. And I'm not that type of person. I'm just not that type of chick. It's not in my personality. I'm the type of person where I don't want to supervise and I don't want a supervisor. So not only are you leading, but you have to submit and obey commands from people who outrank you, okay? And they can be younger than you, which again, I don't mind, but it's like, don't be hypocritical and don't be a bonehead. And that's the thing, again, with the military, you're surrounded and forced to work with so many different types of people. And a lot of people that you encounter are boneheads. Yes, I was in the Air Force. We are known to be stereotypical, like nerds, geeks, and like really intelligent. You will be surprised at how many freaking stupid people are in the Air Force. Again, no tea, no shade. Again, there's a lot of brilliant people and geniuses in the Air Force, but then again, there's a lot of boneheads. And I don't know how, for the life of me, how they ended up continuing to rank up from staff sergeant, technical sergeant, master sergeant, senior master sergeant to chief master sergeant, and even on the officer side. But if you just look at the news and if you look at the crimes that a lot of Air Force upper leadership, okay, managed to make. Remember, it was one guy, I don't remember his name, it was in the news. It was a captain of the Air Force. This mofo got sent to military prison because he gave his 12-year-old daughter an STD. Again, these are the type of people you will be forced to work around, okay? Whether you know this or not. Again, leading people can be okay? You always want to get that new information and new experiences when it comes to being a leader and guiding others and instructing and teaching others. But it becomes an issue when the people who you are supposed to lead, it's your job to lead, don't want to be led. For an example, when I talk about leading other airmen, imagine you have an airman, okay, that's ranked below you. Okay, I was a senior airman. I'm leaving as an E4. Let's say this airman is an E1, E2, E3, but they're a grown adult, okay? Imagine, again, they're a grown adult. They decide not to shave their face for whatever freaking reason and come into work at 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 years of age, okay? This is an adult male. You getting in trouble because he decided not to shave his face because, again, that's your airman. He's below you. You're supposed to be training, instructing, guiding, and leading the next generation of, like, new airmen or whatever. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely diabolical. Not gonna do it no more. And last but not least, guys, I'm tired of toxic leadership. Again, when I went to Eglin, when I was stationed in Eglin for 5 years in Florida, I can write a book about how much foolishness and drama occurred between the airmen and our leadership, like the staff sergeants, the technical sergeants, the master sergeants, the chiefs, the captains. It was just so much rumors, people messing with people's spouses, all the cheating, the alcoholism, okay? That job, I ain't gonna lie, I don't want to put it all on them, but when I was in Florida, I was drinking at my heaviest. Towards the end of my tenure with the Cannon Air Force Base 2, after my security forces augmentee, that was just the culture in security forces. Everybody hates their lives. Everybody hates their wives. So what we do, we all just drink. Okay, that's just what it is. I want to do another video on that too. I'm going to do some more military video, guys. But yeah, it's like the toxic leadership that I experienced at Eglin, just petty. It was just so many, again, these were people who were in leadership. They were older than us, okay? They were old enough, some of them was old enough to be our parents. Spreading rumors, gossiping, lying, cheating, and being conniving for no reason. And also favoritism. Favoritism and jealousy is a huge issue in the military. It's at the point now where it's not about what you know. It's more so about who you know. And again, it's simply not okay. That's simply not fair. Again, guys, all of these reasons for why I'm leaving in 1 month from active duty military, I'm no longer even going to go guard. I no longer want to go reserves. I told one of the recruiters back in Canada, Master Sergeant John, I'm like, girl, take me off the list. I'm not going reserves. I'm not going guard. I'm getting out. I'm going civilian, okay? But this is just off the top of my dome, off my head, why I'm deciding to leave the United States military in 1 month. I highly encourage everyone out there to join if you want to. Just make sure you have a plan, stay out of trouble, and just do a contract and get out. Again, in this current year, 2025, I still believe the military can be worth it, but it just depends on your individual personality and how you are set up and the plans that you have for the future. Guys, comment down below your thoughts on leaving the military in 2025. And if you are currently active duty and are planning on getting out or currently about to get out, comment down below why you are getting out of the military.